Hello everybody, Malakith here and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. So, with the completion of the US campaign, I have moved on to enabling the 2 DLCs and also the latest patch, which reworks the air war and numerous other things, but air was the main thing that got changed. So, with the new DLC, you get all of these lovely factions. Well, I think Poland came at release, to be fair. You get all these lovely factions that now have, I think, their own trees and their own things they can do. And a lot of people were requesting, basically 2 things came up from the playthrough requests at the end of the US campaign. One was France and defend against the Germans, and the other was South Africa or Australia and try to sort of, I guess, take over the world. They didn't really specify. Now, South Africa has a nice thing which is anti-colonialist crusade, where they basically make their own faction in Africa. So that probably suits better than Australia. Plus, Australia would mean a lot of naval stuff, and I think I'm done with naval stuff for a while. The US had a lot of it. I'd rather stick to land wars. They're more interesting. And I'm torn, because I like both the idea of France and South Africa. So what you may see is me trying both. In different games, obviously. Can't do them at the same time. But I think we'll start with South Africa, because that's the newest one and came with one of the DLCs, so I have the least knowledge on it. Right, we're going to keep it on regular difficulty, and we'll put it on historical AI focus, just because I want to see how it impacts. Because what we're basically going to do is yank South Africa out of the Allies. So it'd be interesting to see how that impacts the war. Right, on we go. The start of this is pretty much going to be assessing what position we're in. So we have 6 divisions. Oh. No boats. And 30 planes. Excellent. Quality stuff there. What is this? This looks new. South Africa has 400 out of 1,000 points until being able to become free. Oh, it's an autonomy meter. Okay. So, we're Dominion. So we can't declare war. We can't decline being called to war. We need 600 currency that I've never seen before to promote to that level. And 300 more political power. Right, I'm guessing all will become apparent as we go along. I can't even see that new currency up here. So it must just be this. Right, the focus tree. This will be one of the more interesting things. Seriously, we have one option at the start. Abandon Westminster. Oh no, okay, there we go. There's the rest hiding over here. So we could support the policy of appeasement. Once that goes through, that leads down to working with the British. Or you can kind of avoid that, maybe. Not too sure, really. You might be able to come down this way. There's the split between Axis and Communist. We got some infrastructure improvements, land doctrine. Okay, that's air. Sea. There's the research, so we probably want to go reasonably down this one at some point. What happens if we abandon Westminster? Daily autonomy progress. Democracy support goes down. Right, where's the thing for our own thing for our people? It's probably South Africa first. Maybe not. I need to find this. And there's the Anti-Colonial Crusade. Union of the African People. That lets us create factions. We can liberate the Portuguese colonies. That's okay. So we need to come down the communist route, apparently. Do I kick that off first, or do we sort the railways? We'll kick that off first. Right. Research-wise, what have we got? Let's have a look at the land we're going to be fighting in. Forests. There's a few mountains on this side, but not, you know, massive amounts. It gets a bit worse up at Ethiopia. We don't really need mountain divisions. Marines could potentially be useful for getting like minor invasions, but then we'd need a navy to protect them, and if we're going to be fighting the British, that's never going to go well. So I think Marines are out as well. It looks like we may be relying on paratroopers, which will be an interesting diversion for me. However, we 100% are going to want decent fighters, because we're going to be fighting the RAF and the Luftwaffe. Alright, let's have a look. What resources do we get? Okay, chromium and a tiny bit of steel. Boatloads more chromium. Oh, there's some rubber further up, that's good. So we're going to have a shortage of oil and steel. Hopefully the Soviets or whoever are feeling nice about that. Alright, we've got 3 civilian factories. Let's get the military footing going. Production. We only have 1 factory. Great. Okay, what are my divisions like? 6 infantry, 3 infantry. Have tanks. Oh no, that's all the manpower gone. Okay, let's do that. Ah, yeah, so this is the new look Air Force. So this, I think, is the radar range. We got radar. If I go to see radar, it would be instruction. No, we don't have radars. That might just be their operational range. That's the air zones. Interesting. We'll worry about that a bit later, I think. Right, let's get going. George Owen Brink, Desert Fox. And now we wait. Well, reasonably high national unity, 70%. That's pretty good. We're pretty much going to be relying on being ignored for the most part, I think. I think trying to sneak off of Portugal will be a reasonable bet, because they don't get involved in the war otherwise. They're not a massively strong force. Italy beating up Ethiopia there. The start is going to be very slow, I apologise. Tends to be what happens when you play minor nations. I must admit, one of my favourites is still playing Canada and then rage warring the US before they can get going. If you ever fancy a challenge, that's a good one. Just go infantry heavy with artillery and make sure you get it before the certain date when they start militarising. Alright, abandon Westminster's push through. Empower the workers. Political stuff going first. Alright, Spanish Civil War. That gives us something to watch at the very least. But really, we want the Republicans to win. I always wondered if the best bet would be to try and pinch there as the Republicans and hope that kills supply to everything else. You know, like concentrate your forces here and here and go dump, dump, whilst trying to desperately hold off everywhere else. Because then you should at least starve out a huge portion of their stuff. Alright, we could support Spain. Okay, so what does this one do? Support for Spain. Yeah. Spain is in a civil war. One of the following must show our current party is communist. Right, whereas this one... Political power gain. Gains national spirit black volunteers, which grants recruitable population 1%. Modify... Yeah. By daily fascism support -1. Equal opportunity employment. Oh, it's not an and/or selection. I think we can have both. Yeah, I was thinking it was one of these. Never mind. Support the world revolution. Invite Soviet advisors. Alright, I was picking one, wasn't I? Let's go for the railways. And concentrated. Alright, Northern Republican Spain's getting crushed. Okay, modify government. Do I put in the Communist Revolutionary? Do I look elsewhere for other interesting things? Put in the Communist Revolutionary. I think it'll get me out of there quickest. Oh dear. While workers rise up against their oppressors around the world, those who claim to have achieved class consciousness in South Africa sit idly by and wait for change to come from within a political system so thoroughly corrupt only revolution could save us from it. So speak new voices in the South African communist movement, referring to the rule of United as a dictatorship of the Borg... Yeah, I can never pronounce that word. They've begun calling for it to be brought out of power by any means necessary. Whether those means will come from within or without remains to be seen. Maybe those in the government itself who support the ideas. This is a chance of internal support for a communist coup. This is a chance for popular support for a communist uprising. We'll go for the coup. Yeah, we've researched the Hawker Hurricane. Let's get this going. Now I'm not sure what military doctrine to go with. I am tempted, really tempted to go with, is it mass mobilization? The Russian one. Because I think later on in it you get a thing that lets you reduce the amount of supply your men need or their combat width or something like that. Which will probably help in Africa hugely. Gets me political power. Increases my recruitable population. It messes with fascism. But support Spain. It's only 35 days. It's a quick one. I think it may be too late though. I'm not sure how much we could send either. Isn't it like 10% of your manpower or something? Which is going to be terrible. Plus it looks like the Republicans are collapsing. It went off too soon. Marxist sympathies in the government. Alright, a fight has broken out in Spain between the nationalist government and the legitimate Republican government. There is considerable debate amongst the people about where our government stands. Perhaps a few of us soldiers might be interested in a vacation in Spain. If we wish to join this struggle, we will not stop them. We'll go with the top one. So if we were to send volunteers, we can send a max of 4. I don't think 4 divisions is going to help. Get the feeling it's a bit beyond that. I mean, I doubt we're particularly well equipped either. Right. What's this? 2 building slots and civilian factories. A research bonus to industry. Get the factories first. Because that industry thing will be beneficial the whole way down the game, I think. Whereas the civilian factories will be most beneficial the earlier we get them. I really want something that long. Doesn't look like anything else is particularly short. Okay. Cool power gain bonus. The earlier we get that, the better. Ooh, we got 2 that can do it. Then that's quite a nice one. I think we'll go for the industrial guy next. Captain of Industry. Just because we're going to be making a lot of infrastructure as we try to build railways and all over Africa. Refineries because we've got no oil. Right. The out supply. Whoops. Which tree would it be I want to go down? Attrition reduction. Combat width reduction. Recruit population up. Yeah, that's the one we want. We need as much population as we can get. At length of time. Okay, it's coming up to 37. What major techs am I missing? Gonna do it. Now might be the best time. Well, I can't really make use of too much else. I'm not in too many other trees. Ooh, adds production of steel. We will go for that. Farewell, poor Spain. Unassigned divisions. Yes, we know we have low manpower. We're a miner, what do you expect? I don't actually need the steel at the moment because I don't have any factories to use it. We'll get the factories first. Pick up that one next, maybe. Oh look, there's the steel we need. Should have done it first. Never mind. I guess one of my military factories just finished production. Construction, I should say. Alright, now give me some steel. Guess I might as well trade for it. We'll get it from the UK. Because it uses less convoys. Although apparently Australia and Chile would have been even quicker. Right, we're in 37. Because MG and Stokes Mortar. Whoa, whoa, whoa. End of the Spanish Civil War. Nationalist Spain won. And the Hindenburg incident. Did not blow up. Volunteers return, so we get veterans of the Spanish Civil War, despite sending none. Excellent. Good choice. What are you up to? Encourage colonial elite. What does that do? Uh-oh. Come to this one. Just before we leave. I do realise I should probably bump this, but I think we can get percentage of our population through other means. So I'm going to stick with that one. Because we can do this to get some more population from black volunteers. Amelia Earhart survives. Leadership purges. Ooh, spearhead. Compared to the offensive line, a spearhead will aggressively try to take all provinces as they were there when the order was first painted without adjusting to changes. Yeah, okay. So that's for encirclements. Lovely. Some good changes. I think that came in one of the DLCs. Why haven't I just gone? Oh, there's no order for them to us join to. No, bin that. Let's just draw them like it's going to be when I run the place. And then we might be able to that one. Alright, that's mass assault. We're in 37. Increase the amount of factories we can have in a state. Alright, equal opportunity employment. Factory output and document output go up. And that national spirit disappears. What does it do? Yep. Looks good to me. I want paratroopers, but there's other things I need first. Like these things in here I should really be going for. One of these will give... Oh no, one of them doesn't give it. I was sure one of these was meant to give you well, normally there's one that gives you army experience. Apparently not this time. Right. Hurricanes on there. Ah, no, there's the one that only gives army experience. It's the Theorist. Also reduces the research time of this. Apparently. I need to get my economy and production capabilities going though. Right, back looking over here. Military factories. And then the extra research slot. Okay, just give them some orders so they have something to, you know, do. Start getting their planning bonus up and all that sort of stuff. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Japan declared war. Italy announces claims on Yugoslavian territory. There's China. What are these? Conversion speed bonuses. Those were new. No, I'm good. Alright, we're 37. Let's get the tanks going. Need to try and keep up on those. Alright, that's China United. I was expecting to see. Naval invasion. And sneaking in on the coastline. What it tends to do, it tends to try and take the coast and then fail horribly usually, because it overstretches. Right. Do I need AA guns or anti-tank at this point? Anti-tanks a maybe, but it depends who I end up fighting. Might sneak down the doctrines. Oh, an extra research slot straight away. Yeah. Earlier we get that, the better off we'll be. Anschluss of Austria. Alright, what do we want? Get an armor expert. Army regrouping. Aircraft for light aircraft. Give me a while before we're researching. I've got time. Alright, let's go for limited conscription. Train a few more divisions. Let's put planes to the bottom, actually, I think. Much as I need them, I don't have the rubber yet, I don't think. No. Importing 8 steel and got an excess of 4, so I can't even get my factory back. Right. Done in here, 30, or 38 now, oh, that's fine. 38, start the next research. Over here, let's... I want to get that before we're researching the Supermarine Spitfire. Which I think is probably a 39 plane. If we start this now. Indian National Congress triumphs in provincial elections. Appears the Indians have rejected the more radical policies advocated by Gandhi, who had argued for a total break with Britain, absolute home rule as soon as possible. So they're staying part of the empire. The May Revolution. The notion that the communist movement represents the people has certainly gotten wind in its sails in South Africa, where the public support for the Communist Party has increased rapidly in the past months. Those who call for the revolution are no longer a disparate collection of guerrillas and disgruntled labour unions. The group behind the call for revolt is organised enough to form a government if they succeed. Nevertheless, if the revolution started now, it could hardly be executed without launching South Africa into civil war. If the revolutionaries risk tearing the nation in two to satisfy their impatience or wait for a better opportunity in the future. Revolution is inevitable, the inevitable can wait. Armed conflicts divide South Africa. The communist revolutionary movement, once a fringe popular among radical academics in theory and troublemakers in practice, has seen increased support among South African working class. The fact that even more people choose to identify themselves with the class at all implies that Marxist ideas are spreading beyond those who actively seek to overthrow the government. United members lament this development, longing for a time when South African was what people identified as first and foremost. Their concerns are not unfounded. It could be argued that a revolution is already underway, occurring on several layers of society, and it may be too late to stop it. People may call themselves whatever they want. Change in popularity of communists, 15%. Base national unity, -2. And that makes them the ruling party. Next election, May 38. I think Mr. Herzog's days are numbers. When in May? Oh, here we go. Communists in government. The communist movement in South Africa, fueled by broad dissatisfaction among the working class and radical trends among academics, has grown large enough to lead the formation of several parties. After one of these has gained considerable support in the current election, politicians in United have started debating whether or not to seek their support in forming a government. Although they consider our democratic institutions to be little more than, that word I can never pronounce properly again, tyranny, they seem eager to make the changes they want to see through cooperating with the government rather than overthrowing it. Rather reform than revolution, changing popularity of communist 10%, or a broad coalition of democratic parties is preferable. pushes the Democrats. So we're going for the top one, which massively puts them as the leading party. Communists demand a referendum. Marxist ideas took root in South Africa a long time ago, but have gained much more widespread support lately. The movement has spread outside political theory and into political practice, with disgruntled workers and even some high-profile celebrities voicing support. The communists call this class consciousness. United call it a fast track to riots and treason. Showing little faith in JBM Herzog, being willing to implement the reforms they demand, the more vocal communists have called for an immediate referendum to have the current government removed. And it's election month. Just wait like 7 days. While I might be able to reverse the momentum of this mass movement, failure to do so will doubtlessly result in a more popular communist method of removal: revolution. Referendum is preferable to a bloody revolt. Ignore them, which messes with the national unity, or the thing is, the revolution, the elections are this month. I'm like days away from them happening. I'm going to ignore it and take the temporary hit rather than the permanent 5%, I think. My problem is I don't trust the game. This might be the election, and this is just bump over the top. I'm going to ignore it and see what happens. That's the whole purpose of this game playthrough. Learn. Communist execute coup. Public executions. What? While the popular movement for communist revolution has been loud and terrifying, a certain section of the political movement has been largely quiet and waiting. The wait is now over. Today, just as the United Leadership and Army were bracing for revolt on a national scale, a number of officials in the South African government swiftly placed JBM Herzog under house arrest and entered negotiations with the rebels. While retaining a pretense of safeguarding order, what negotiations effectively amounted to was to secure positions within the new socialist state for those who chose to cooperate. The coup was finished before anyone could move to stop it, and those who would have are now imprisoned, exiled, or executed by the new regime. So SCAP becomes the ruling party, public executions will not be held, and we get Reign of Terror, which means political power gain plus 10% for 730 days. Well, fun times. And a bit more political power and we can go free, should we wish. What's the UK up to? The Burma Road. No, this one. It's fine, we'll go free. But that is all for next time. Thoughts and comments in the bottom of the video as per the last series. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.